I'm sitting in a private dining room at Meridian, the kind of restaurant where they don't list prices and the waiters wear nicer shoes than I do, when my wife drops the announcement that will change everything. "We have something to tell you," Lena says, standing up with her hand resting on her stomach. I notice Adam, my older brother, watching her with this expression I can't quite place. Pride mixed with something else. Our parents are leaning forward, expectant. My mother actually has tears in her eyes already. "I'm pregnant," Lena announces. For exactly 3 seconds I feel this stupid surge of joy. Then she keeps talking. "The father is Adam. We've been together for almost 2 years now." She smiles at me like she's just told me we won the lottery. But this is actually perfect for everyone. He's family, so it's not like I'm running off with a stranger. And honestly, Daniel, she actually touches my shoulder. The baby will get his genetics, his potential, his looks. You know how important that is. You've always been the stable one, the provider. This way, everyone gets what they're best at. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. The room goes quiet except for the sound of someone's wine glass being set down too hard. I'm pretty sure that's my glass. "What Lena means," Adam jumps in, his voice smooth like he's closing a deal at the office, "is that this situation isn't what any of us planned, but we're all adults here. We can make this work. You've always been family-oriented, Danny. That doesn't have to change." My mother dabs at her eyes. "It's unconventional, but the baby would still be a Blake, still part of our family." I'm sitting there doing the math. 2 years. That anniversary trip to Charleston where Lena said she needed space to find herself. Adam had a conference there. The weekend, Adam helped us move furniture, and Lena insisted I go pick up dinner while they got started. That suddenly makes a different kind of sense. "Daniel?" Lena prompts. "Say something." I look at her designer dress, the one I bought her last month. At Adam's watch, the Rolex he constantly mentions he invested in. At my parents, who are looking at me like I'm the one who needs to get with the program. "I need a minute," I finally say. "Of course, honey." Lena sits back down, reaches for my hand. I let her take it because I genuinely don't know what else to do. This is a lot to process, but just think about it logically. We have the house. Well, you have the house. I have my career. Adam has his position at Sterling and Wells. The baby will have everything it needs. Nothing actually has to change for you. Except my wife is carrying my brother's baby, and apparently everyone in my family thinks I should just finance this arrangement, like I'm some kind of living Patreon subscription. I think, I say slowly, I need to go home. "Danny," Adam starts. "I said I need to go home." I stand up, walk out, get in my 10-year-old sedan while they're all still sitting in there under the crystal chandelier, probably discussing how I'm overreacting. That drive back to the house, my house, the one I've been paying the mortgage on for 6 years, that's when it really hits me. Not that my wife cheated, not that my brother betrayed me, but that they genuinely, honestly expected me to accept this, to smile and nod and keep making the money while they built their perfect little life with my funding. I pull into the driveway, sit there with the engine running, and I make a decision. I'm not leaving. I'm not going to make this easy for them. I'm going to stay right here in their world, the corporate parties, the charity galas, the whole shallow circus, and I'm going to take everything apart piece by piece. They want me to play a role? Fine, I'll play it. Right up until the moment I don't. I turn off the engine and walk inside. The house is dark, quiet. I go to my office, the spare bedroom they never cared about because it doesn't photograph well, and I open my laptop. Time to start doing what I do best, finding the cracks in the system. 3 months earlier, I'm standing in the server room at Sterling and Wells, running diagnostics on a system that's been glitching for weeks. when Adam walks in with two guys in expensive suits. "And this is our IT infrastructure," he's saying. "Danny here keeps everything running smooth. Don't you, little brother?" I don't look up from the screen. "Just fixing the issue your department keeps creating by opening random email attachments." The clients laugh. Adam laughs too, but his eyes aren't smiling when they meet mine. "Daniel's a perfectionist. It's why we keep him in the basement." We're on the 3rd floor, but I get the metaphor. After they leave, I finish the repair and head upstairs. Sterling and Wells occupies the top 12 floors of the Harborside Tower, all glass and marble, and the kind of corporate minimalism that screams money. Adam's office is on 47. Mine is technically a desk in the IT department on 39, but I'm usually wherever something's broken. My phone buzzes. "Lena, can you grab milk on the way home? And we're supposed to be at your parents' place at 7. Don't forget to change out of that shirt." The shirt is fine. It's a button-down I bought last year. But in Lena's world, anything that's not currently trending on some style blog might as well be a garbage bag. "Got it," I text back. "And Daniel, your mom specifically requested we bring wine. The expensive kind, not whatever you usually pick." I don't respond to that. Just head down to the parking garage. I met Lena 5 years ago at a product launch party Adam invited me to. She was working PR for the luxury brand hosting the event, moving through the crowd in a red dress that probably cost more than my monthly rent. I was the guy in the corner checking his phone, wondering why Adam insisted I come to these things. "You look like you'd rather be anywhere else," she said, appearing next to me with 2 champagne flutes. "That obvious?" "Only to people who feel the same way." She handed me a glass. "I'm Lena, and you're Adam Blake's brother, the one who actually works for a living." That made me laugh. We talked for an hour. She was smart, funny, ambitious, said she was tired of shallow guys who only cared about her looks, said she wanted something real. 6 months later, we were engaged. A year after that, married. She moved into the house I'd bought the year before, a modest 3-bedroom in a decent neighborhood, nothing fancy but mine. She started talking about renovations, better furniture, a new car for her because the one she had didn't match her professional image. I paid for all of it. I was good at my job, made decent money, and I wanted her to be happy. Looking back now, I can pinpoint the exact moment things shifted. About 2 years into the marriage, Lena started working on a major account. Some wealth management partnership between her company and Sterling and Wells. Suddenly, she was at the office more. Suddenly, Adam was calling her for consulting on client events. "Your brother really values my input," she told me one night, eyes bright. "He says I have instincts these old finance guys don't understand." I was glad they got along. Family harmony, right? Then came the subtle comments. How Adam just closed another massive deal. How he got promoted to senior wealth manager. How their parents were so proud, throwing a dinner party just to celebrate his success. "You should ask about advancement opportunities," Lena suggested. "IT people can move into management too." "I like what I do. But don't you want more?" She waved her hand around our living room, which she'd redecorated twice already. "Don't you want to give us more?" What I wanted was to come home and not feel like I was failing some test I didn't know I was taking. But I kept quiet, kept working, kept paying. Now I'm pulling into my parents' driveway in the suburbs, expensive wine in hand, and I can already see Adam's BMW parked in front. He upgraded last month. Lena mentioned it 17 times. Inside, Mom's set the dining room like we're hosting foreign dignitaries. Dad's pouring drinks. Adam's telling some story about a difficult client he won over with his charm and strategic thinking. "Danny," Mom kisses my cheek. "You're late." "Traffic," I say, handing her the wine. "Oh, this is nice." She reads the label with a tight smile. "I'm sure it'll be fine." Lena arrives 20 minutes later in the new dress she charged to our joint credit card. She hugs my mother like they're best friends, even though Mom once told me Lena was a bit much for someone from her background. Dinner is the usual performance. Adam talks about work. Mom asks him about his dating life with theatrical concern. "You need to settle down," she tells him for the 100th time. "Give us grandchildren. You're not getting any younger." "I'm working on it," Adam says, and I swear he glances at Lena when he says it. No, I'm imagining things. "Daniel," Dad finally acknowledges me. "How's the IT world?" "Busy. Upgraded the security systems last week." That's good. He's already looking back at Adam. "Your brother tells me he's being considered for partner track." "Not confirmed yet," Adam says with false modesty. "But I've got a strong quarter going." Lena leans forward. "That's incredible, Adam. Partner at Sterling and Wells? That's what, top 5% of wealth managers nationwide?" "Something like that." Adam shrugs. "Takes the right combination of skill and relationship building. Not everyone can do it." The implication hangs there. I'm in the not everyone category. After dinner, I'm in the kitchen loading the dishwasher when I hear them in the hallway. Lena and Adam, voices low. "Can't keep doing this," Adam's saying. "It's getting too obvious." "He doesn't notice anything," Lena replies. "He's completely checked out. Comes home, plays on his computer, goes to bed. Still, we should cool it until what? You finally commit to something? I'm not waiting forever, Adam." I freeze, plate in hand. "I told you I'm working on it. Let me handle my family. You handle yours." They walk away before I can process what I just heard. I finish loading the dishwasher in silence. Join everyone in the living room. Smile when I'm supposed to smile. And when we finally leave, I drive home with Lena, chattering about what a nice evening it was, how much she loves family dinners, how lucky we are to have such supportive people in our lives. "Yeah," I say. "Lucky." That night, I lie awake while Lena sleeps beside me, and I think about that overheard conversation, about the way they looked at each other during dinner, about all the late meetings and weekend events and times Lena came home smelling like cologne that wasn't mine. I could confront them, demand the truth, blow everything up right now. But something stops me. Some instinct that says if I'm right, if what I'm thinking is actually happening, then I need to be smart about this. Strategic. I need to know everything before I make a move. So I start paying attention. Really paying attention. And that's when I begin to see the cracks. The thing about being the IT guy is that people forget you exist until something breaks. You're in the room, but you're not really there. They have entire conversations like you're a piece of furniture. This becomes useful. Monday morning, I'm in the conference room on 47 installing new presentation equipment when Adam walks in with 3 colleagues. They don't even look at me as I work on the ceiling mount. Hearing he's got cold feet about the Harbor District project, one of them says. "Let me handle Richmond," Adam replies. "I've got lunch with him Thursday. I'll bring Lena from PR. She's got that angle covered." My hand tightens on the wrench. "Smart," another colleague says. "Your brother's wife, right? She's impressive. You two must coordinate a lot." We understand each other. Adam's voice has an edge of smugness. Same vision, same goals. Some people get that, some don't. They move on to other topics. I finish the installation. Walk out like I heard nothing, but I heard everything. Thursday, I check the calendar system. Adam has a lunch reservation at Ostra, a high-end seafood place downtown. The booking is for 3 people, A. Blake, L. Blake, J. Richmond. Lena told me Thursday she has an all-day workshop across town, said she'd be unreachable. I take an extended lunch break. Position myself at a coffee shop across from Ostra with a laptop and a clear view of the entrance. At 12:30, Adam arrives. 5 minutes later, Lena pulls up in her car, the one I make payments on, wearing a dress I've never seen. They go inside together. Through the window, I can see them greeting an older man. Richmond, presumably. They sit, order drinks, and lean in close for conversation. Lena touches Adam's arm when she laughs. He shifts his chair closer to hers. Professional coordination. Right. I take a photo with my phone. Not because I need evidence yet. Because I need to remember this moment. Remember exactly how stupid I've been. They're inside for 2 hours. When they come out, Richmond shakes both their hands and leaves in a town car. Adam and Lena linger on the sidewalk. She says something that makes him laugh. He touches her lower back as they walk to their cars. It's subtle enough that most people wouldn't notice. But I notice. I drive back to the office, spend the afternoon rerouting servers and resetting passwords, and I don't think about what I saw. I focus on the work because work makes sense. Work has logic and rules and problems that can actually be fixed. That night, Lena comes home exhausted. That workshop was brutal, she says, kicking off her heels. 6 hours of the most boring strategy sessions. I need wine. How was the food? I ask from the kitchen. What food? At the workshop. They usually cater those things. Oh, right. She waves her hand. Sandwiches or something, forgettable. What are we doing for dinner? I order takeout. We eat in front of the TV. She scrolls through her phone, laughing at messages. At one point, she types something and smiles in a way she hasn't smiled at me in months. Good message? I ask. Just Bella being Bella. She shows me a meme her friend sent, but I saw the keyboard before she switched apps. She was typing in a different conversation. After she goes to bed, I sit in my office and open my personal laptop. Not the work one. I'm not stupid enough to do this on company equipment. I think about what I know for sure. They're spending time together, lying about it, and based on that hallway conversation, this has been going on for a while. I need more information. But I need to be careful. I start with the simple stuff. We have a shared cloud account for household documents. I check Lena's folder, the one she thinks I never look at. There's a subfolder labeled Events, with dozens of calendar invites, booking confirmations, correspondence about various parties and galas. I start cross-referencing dates. Every time Lena said she had a work event, I compare it to Adam's calendar, which I have access to because I maintain the company system. The pattern is immediate. In the past year alone, there are at least 30 instances where they were at the same event, same hotel, same city, and at least 10 where Lena told me she was somewhere she wasn't. Like the Charleston trip. She said she was at a brand retreat, but there's a hotel confirmation in her folder, a suite at the Harbor Inn, same hotel where Adam's conference was held, same dates, and the room charge shows 2 key cards issued. I sit back in my chair and stare at the screen. 2 years, she said at that dinner. This has been happening for 2 years while I paid for her car, her wardrobe, the renovations she insisted would make our house more sophisticated. My phone buzzes. A text from my mother. Thank you for dinner the other night. Your father and I were discussing. Have you and Lena thought about children? Adam mentioned she's ready to start a family. Adam mentioned. Of course he did. I don't respond. Instead, I go back to digging through the digital paper trail they've left behind. Credit card statements, location data from the phone finder app we both have access to. Every receipt, every timestamp, every little piece of evidence that they thought didn't matter, because I was too busy being the stable, reliable, invisible husband to notice. By 3 a.m, I have a timeline. A clear, documented timeline of their relationship. Where they went. When they went. How much they spent, often on my credit cards, which Lena has authorization to use. I have hotel rooms and restaurant receipts and calendar conflicts that prove at least 50 instances of coordinated lying. But I don't have the why yet. I mean, I know why. Attraction, excitement, whatever justification cheaters tell themselves. But I don't understand the endgame. Are they planning to leave their current situations? Is this just ongoing affair? What exactly is their plan? I close the laptop, sit in the dark, and I realize I'm not angry. Not the hot, explosive angry that makes people do stupid things. I'm cold, calculating. Because somewhere in the back of my mind, a different kind of plan is forming. They think I'm oblivious. They think I'm the boring, stable one who'll never rock the boat. They've gotten comfortable in their deception. That's going to be their mistake. I spend the next 2 weeks being the perfect husband, attentive, pleasant, completely normal. I ask Lena about her day. I laugh at her stories. I don't mention anything about my late-night discoveries. But I'm watching. Always watching. At work, I volunteer for weekend maintenance shifts that give me access to the building when it's mostly empty. I run legitimate diagnostics, fix real problems, but I also take my time. Walk the floors, observe the executive level where Adam's office is. There's a pattern to how people use the building after hours. Junior associates trying to impress partners by working late, cleaning crews on a strict schedule, security doing rounds every 45 minutes, and twice on Friday evenings when I'm theoretically running backup systems from the server room, I see Adam and Lena arrive together. They use the private elevator that requires key card access. They go to the executive lounge on 49, the one with the private meeting rooms and full bar. They're in there for hours. I don't confront them. I document. Photos of them entering together. Timestamps. I copy the security log that shows both their key cards accessing the same secure areas at the same times. I'm building a file. Not for a lawyer yet. I'm not ready for that. But because I need to understand the full scope before I decide what to do with it. Meanwhile, Lena starts talking about renovations again. Specifically, she wants to redesign the primary bedroom and add a nursery. A nursery? I'm in the kitchen making coffee when she brings this up. Well, not immediately, but we should plan ahead. She's scrolling through design blogs on her tablet. If we're going to start a family, we need the space properly set up. Are we starting a family? She looks up, surprised. I mean, eventually? Isn't that what people do? Is that what you want? Of course. She smiles. Don't you? I want to ask whose family we'd be starting exactly, but I don't. Instead, I say, let's talk about it seriously when we're both ready. I'm ready now, she says. But I know you like to plan everything to exhaustion, so fine. We'll table it. She goes back to her tablet, already dismissing the conversation. That night, I'm in my office when I hear her on the phone. Her voice carries down the hallway. Acting weird. I don't know. Just asking questions. Pause. No, not suspicious weird. More like suddenly interested weird. It's annoying. Pause. I told you he doesn't notice anything. We're fine. I turn off my lamp so she doesn't see I'm still awake and stand in the doorway. She's in our bedroom, door half closed, pacing. When are you going to make a decision? She asks. I can't keep waiting forever. I'm 36, Adam. If we're doing this, we need to do it. Long pause. That's what you said last month. And the month before. Her voice gets sharp. I'm not the one who's married, remember? This is your complication, not mine. Married. Adam's not married, unless she means... Oh, she means me. I'm the complication. Just figure it out, she says. I love you too. Bye. She hangs up. Immediately opens her camera, checks her reflection, practices her smile. Then she walks toward my office. I'm back in my chair, laptop glowing, by the time she appears in the doorway. Still working? She asks. System updates. You know how it is. She leans against the frame. Come to bed soon, okay? We barely see each other anymore. Sure, half an hour. She blows me a kiss and disappears. I sit there, hands shaking, and I finally let myself feel it. The anger, the betrayal, the sheer audacity of her standing there pretending everything's normal while planning her future with my brother. But I still don't act. Not yet. Instead, I text someone I haven't talked to in months. Julian Reeves. He works in asset management at Sterling and Wells. same level as Adam but different department. We got friendly during a system migration project last year. Hey, random question. You still go to that gym downtown? He responds immediately. Yeah, why? You finally taking me up on those boxing classes? Maybe. Could use a new routine. Come by tomorrow, 6 a.m. I'll introduce you to the coach. The next morning, I'm at Brooklyn Steel Boxing, a no-frills gym in a converted warehouse. Julian's already there, wrapping his hands. Danny Blake, he says, grinning. Never thought I'd see you in here. Trying something new. Good timing. I needed a sparring partner. He tosses me wraps. Fair warning, Coach Rita doesn't go easy on beginners. Coach Rita turns out to be a former Golden Gloves competitor in her 50s who treats every session like we're training for a title fight. By the end of the hour, I'm exhausted, bruised, and more focused than I've been in years. You've got decent instincts, she tells me. But you hesitate. Stop thinking so much and just move. Julian and I grab coffee after. He's one of those genuinely good people who succeeds through actual competence rather than politics. We talk about work, the firm, the usual stuff. Then he says, So what's really going on? You've got that look. What look? Like you're about to make a big move, but you're still calculating the angles. He stirs his coffee. I've seen it before, usually right before someone quits or files a complaint. Just thinking about changes, I say carefully. Changes at work or changes at home? I don't answer. Julian leans back. Look, we're not close friends, but I like you. You're one of the only straight shooters in that building, so if something's happening, professionally or personally, and you need someone who knows how things actually work at Sterling and Wells, I'm around. How well do you know Adam? His expression shifts. We're colleagues. Why? Just curious about his reputation. Julian's quiet for a moment. Then he says, Your brother's good at his job. Very good. Clients love him, partners trust him, and he knows how to work a room. But between you and me, he's also really good at taking credit for other people's work and deflecting blame when things go wrong. We had a deal go south last year that should have been partially on him, but somehow the junior associate ended up fired while Adam got sympathy for being let down by his team. Sounds about right. There's also rumors, Julian continues, watching me carefully, about his personal life. Nothing concrete, but people talk. Apparently he's got a thing for complicated situations. Complicated how? The kind where everyone ends up hurt except him. Julian drains his coffee. Look, I don't know what's going on and I won't pry. But if you need information about how the firm works, who to talk to, what channels to use, how to protect yourself, I'm saying I'm available. I'll keep that in mind. We leave it there. But now I have an ally, even if he doesn't know it yet. Someone who understands the corporate structure and doesn't owe Adam anything. That afternoon, I'm back in the server room when Adam walks in. No clients this time, just him. Danny, got a second? I finish typing a command and turn around. What's up? I wanted to talk to you about something. He leans against the doorframe, casual. Family stuff. Okay. Look, I know you and I don't always see eye to eye. Different personalities, different lives, whatever. But we're still brothers, and I think we should make more effort, actually spend time together. This is new. Sure, why now? Why not now? He shrugs. We're not getting any younger. And I've been thinking about what matters. Family matters. I want us to be closer. He sounds so sincere. Almost convincing. Sounds good, I say. Great. How about dinner this week? You, me, Lena. We'll go somewhere nice, catch up properly. I smile. I'll check with Lena and let you know. Perfect. He claps my shoulder. It's good to do this, Danny. Really good. After he leaves, I stand there thinking about what just happened. He's setting something up. I don't know what yet, but that speech was rehearsed. I text Julian. Hypothetically, if someone wanted to document conversations in case things got legally messy, what's the clean way to do that? He responds an hour later. Recording laws vary by state. Check if you're in a one-party consent jurisdiction. If yes, you can record any conversation you're part of. If no, you need all parties to consent. Check your local laws, and hypothetically, keep those recordings somewhere secure and backed up. I look up the laws. Turns out my state is one-party consent. As long as I'm part of the conversation, I can record it without telling the other person. I download a recording app. Test it. The audio quality is clear enough. When Lena gets home that night, I mention Adam's dinner invitation. She lights up immediately. That's great. When? He said this week. You pick the day. Thursday. I'm free Thursday. Of course she is. Thursday works. She hugs me. Actually hugs me. This is really nice, Daniel. I know your family dynamics are complicated, but it's good you're making an effort with Adam. Yeah, I say into her hair. It's good. Thursday arrives. We meet Adam at Meridian, the same place where this will all eventually explode. But tonight, we're just 3 people having dinner, making small talk, drinking expensive wine. Lena's performing the role of perfect wife, touching my hand, laughing at my mediocre jokes, asking Adam thoughtful questions about his work. Adam's playing the supportive brother, complimenting our marriage, talking about how lucky I am. My phone sits on the table, recording everything. I've been thinking, Adam says as dessert arrives, about what I want my legacy to be. Building wealth is fine, but it's empty without people to share it with. Real connections, you know. That's very philosophical, Lena says. It's true, though. He looks between us. You two have something solid, a real partnership. That's rare, valuable. I sip my wine and let him talk. I want that someday, he continues. The right person, the right situation, a family. You'll find it, Lena assures him. You've got everything going for you. Maybe. He swirls his drink. Or maybe it's already closer than I think. The look they exchange lasts half a second, but I catch it, and the phone catches everything. 3 weeks after that dinner, I'm at my parents' house for Sunday lunch, when my mother corners me in the kitchen. Daniel, we need to talk about something. What's wrong? She glances toward the dining room where Dad, Adam, and Lena are setting the table. Your father and I are concerned. About you and Lena. My stomach tightens. Concerned how? When are you two going to have children? You've been married 5 years. Lena's not getting any younger, and frankly, neither are you. We'll have kids when we're ready. That's what you always say. She crosses her arms. But are you ready? Or are you being selfish? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like you're more interested in your computers than in building a real future. Mom, Adam would have been a father by now if he'd settled down when I told him to. At least he's finally thinking about his legacy. You should do the same. I want to laugh, want to scream, want to tell her everything. But instead I say, I'll talk to Lena about it. See that you do. Lunch is the usual torture. Adam describing his latest triumph at work, Dad praising him, Mom asking pointed questions about my career trajectory that really mean, why aren't you more like your brother? Then, as we're having coffee, my mother taps her glass like she's making a toast. I have an announcement. Well, a suggestion, really. Your father and I have been discussing this, and we think it's time for a family gathering, a real event. We're hosting a dinner party next month at the Harbor Club, inviting relatives, some of Adam's colleagues, a few important people. It'll be formal, elegant, a celebration of the Blake family and everything we've built. Sounds expensive, I say. It's an investment, Dad replies, in our reputation and our future. We want both of you there, of course. And Daniel, please make an effort with your appearance. This isn't a casual occasion. I'll try to contain my natural slovenliness. Lena kicks me under the table. After lunch, we're walking to our cars when Adam pulls me aside. Hey, can we talk for a minute? Lena heads to the car while I stay behind with him. What's up? He runs his hand through his hair, looking nervous for the first time I can remember. I need to tell you something. and I need you to keep an open mind. Okay. I'm seeing someone you know. My heart rate spikes, but I keep my face neutral. Who? It's complicated. He looks away. It's been going on for a while, and before you get angry, I want you to know it wasn't planned. These things just happen sometimes. Just say it, Adam. It's Lena. I let the silence stretch. Let him squirm. Then I say, my wife Lena? Yes. And before you react, just listen. We tried to stay away from each other. We really did. But there's something between us that neither of us can deny. It's real, Danny. More real than anything I've ever felt. How long? 2 years, give or take. 2 years. I repeat it flatly. You've been seeing my wife for 2 years. I know how this sounds. Do you? The anger finally cracks through. Do you know how this sounds? Danny, just let me finish. He holds up his hands. We didn't want to hurt you. That's the last thing either of us wanted. But we also can't keep lying. It's not fair to anyone, especially not to you. How considerate. Look, I understand you're upset, but this doesn't have to be a disaster. We're all adults. We can handle this maturely. And honestly, you and Lena haven't been happy for a while now. You know that. Do I? Come on. When's the last time you two actually connected? Had a real conversation? Your roommates who happen to be married? He's not entirely wrong. But that doesn't make this okay. So, what are you proposing? I ask. I just step aside and let you take my wife? I'm saying maybe this is an opportunity for everyone to find what they actually want. You deserve to be with someone who sees you, Danny, who appreciates you. Lena and I, we have something different. Something that works for us. And maybe that frees you up to find your own thing. This is insane. Is it? Or is it just honest? He steps closer. Think about it. Really think about it. You've never been passionate about this marriage. You've been going through the motions because it's what you're supposed to do. But what if you didn't have to? I'm processing this conversation, the audacity of it, when Lena walks back over. Everything okay? She asks. I told him, Adam says. Her face goes pale. You... what? Adam, we said... I couldn't keep lying to him, he's my brother. She looks at me, eyes wide. Daniel, I can explain. Can you? It's not what you think. Well, it is, but it's more complicated than that. How is cheating on me complicated? Because I didn't plan this. Her voice rises. You think I wanted to fall for your brother? You think that was my goal when we got married? I don't know what your goal was anymore. My goal was to build a life, to be happy, to have a partnership with someone who was actually present. She's crying now. But you checked out, Daniel. You've been checked out for years, coming home and disappearing into your office, never wanting to go anywhere or do anything. Do you know how lonely it is being married to someone who doesn't even see you? So that makes this okay? That makes him okay? No, nothing makes it okay. She wipes her eyes. But it's real. What I have with Adam is real, and I can't pretend it's not anymore. I look at both of them, my brother, my wife, both watching me like I'm the unreasonable one. I need time to process this, I finally say. Of course, Adam replies. Take all the time you need. But Danny, don't make this harder than it has to be. We can all move forward from this if we choose to. I get in my car, drive away, and I don't go home. I drive to the office, use my key card to access the empty building, and I go to my office where no one can see me. Then I pull up the recordings, the documentation, the timeline I've been building, and I add today's conversation to the file, because they just gave me everything I needed. A confession, multiple confessions, on record, but I'm not ready to play that card yet. There's something else going on, something they haven't told me. I can feel it in the way they kept looking at each other, in the careful way they phrased things. They're building toward something bigger, and I need to know what it is before I destroy them. So I go home that night. I act devastated but not angry, and when Lena tries to talk about it, I tell her I need space to think. I understand, she says. This is a lot. Yeah. But Daniel, I hope you'll consider what Adam said, about all of us finding what we actually want. There's a way through this that doesn't have to be ugly. We'll see. That night, I lie awake and plan. Really plan. Because they've shown their hand too early. They don't know I've been watching. They don't know I have evidence. They think they're in control of this narrative. They're wrong. My mother calls 2 days later. We need to have a family meeting. Tonight. All of us. What about? Adam told me what's happening. We need to discuss this together as a family. I don't think. 7 o'clock, don't be late. She hangs up before I can argue. I show up at my parents' house at 7 sharp. Everyone's already there. Dad looks uncomfortable. Mom looks determined. Adam and Lena sit together on the couch, not touching, but clearly united. Sit down, Daniel, Mom says. I sit. Your brother explained the situation. Obviously, this is not ideal, but it's also not unprecedented. People develop feelings. Marriages evolve. The question is how we handle it. Handle it? Yes, like adults, like a family. She folds her hands. Your father and I have discussed this extensively, and we think there's a path forward that works for everyone. Does this path involve my wife staying my wife? Daniel, don't be dramatic. The marriage is clearly over. The question is whether we destroy each other in the process or whether we find a mature solution. I look at my father. He won't meet my eyes. What solution? I ask. Adam leans forward. The solution is, we stop pretending. Lena and I are together. That's the reality. But we're still family. You're still my brother. We can all still be in each other's lives. You want me to what? Have dinner with you two? Celebrate your anniversary? Eventually, maybe, Lena says quietly. But initially, we're just asking you to accept it. To not make this a war. And in exchange? In exchange, we make the divorce as painless as possible, Adam answers. Fair division of assets. We don't drag this through courts. You get to move on with your dignity intact. My dignity? Yes. Mom's voice is sharp. Because if you fight this, it'll get ugly. Lawyers, rumors, the whole firm knowing your business. Is that what you want? What I want is my wife and my brother not to betray me. But that already happened, she says bluntly. So now we deal with the consequences. And the consequence is that your marriage is ending. The only question is how much damage we all sustain. I sit there absorbing this. They've already decided, all of them. This meeting isn't about my feelings or my choices. It's about getting me to comply. I need to think, I finally say. Don't think too long, Dad speaks up for the first time. Adam's career is important. He's up for partner. If this becomes a scandal, then maybe he shouldn't have slept with his brother's wife. Daniel, Mom snaps. That kind of attitude helps no one. What attitude would you prefer? Gratitude? I'd prefer maturity. I'd prefer you recognize that sometimes life doesn't go according to plan, and we have to adapt. Adapt. Right. I stand up. I'll let you know what I decide. There's something else, Lena says quickly. Something we need to tell you. My stomach drops. What? She looks at Adam. He nods. I'm pregnant, she says. The room goes silent. It's Adam's, she continues. We found out last week. And before you ask, yes, we're keeping it. I can't breathe. Can't think. You're pregnant. About 8 weeks, she confirms, which is why we can't wait to resolve this. The baby's coming whether we're ready or not. And this changes things, Adam adds. This isn't just about us anymore. It's about a child. Our child. Mom starts crying happy tears. Dad grabs a drink, and I just stand there trying to comprehend what's happening. Say something, Lena prompts. What do you want me to say? That you'll do the right thing, that you won't make this harder than it already is. She touches her stomach. This baby is family. Our family. And it deserves to be born into stability, not chaos. Stability, I repeat. Yes. Which means we need to move forward, get divorced. Let Adam and I build our life together, and you can be part of that life if you choose. Uncle Daniel, still connected, still family. I look at each of them, Mom with her tears, Dad with his drink, Adam with his hand on Lena's shoulder, Lena with her hand on her stomach, and I understand. Finally, completely understand. This was never about love or passion or any of the things they claimed. This was about money and status and their perception of genetics. They literally think Adam's genes are superior to mine, so they decided to upgrade the baby plan while keeping my financial support. I see, I say quietly. So you'll agree? Mom asks hopefully. You'll let this happen peacefully? I didn't say that. Daniel, I said I see. I understand now. All of it. I head for the door. I need to go. Wait, Adam calls. We're not done talking. Yeah, we are. I leave. Get in my car, drive. But I don't go home. I go to Julian's apartment. Call him from the parking lot. It's Danny. I know it's late, but I really need to talk to someone. Come up. 10 minutes later, I'm sitting in his living room telling him everything. The affair, the pregnancy, the family meeting, all of it. He listens without interrupting. When I'm done, he's quiet for a long moment. Then he says, "They're actually asking you to fund raising your brother's child while they build their life together." Essentially. That's the most audacious thing I've ever heard. He shakes his head. And your family's on board with this? They think it's the mature solution. The mature solution is your brother keeping it in his pants and your wife honoring her vows. Julian gets up, paces. Listen, I'm going to tell you something I probably shouldn't, about Adam's position at the firm. What about it? He's not as secure as everyone thinks. There are partners who don't trust him. There was that incident last year I mentioned, but there's been other stuff too. Minor ethics questions, client complaints that got buried, concerns about his judgment. He's got powerful advocates, but he's also got enemies. Why are you telling me this? Because if you want to fight back, really fight back, you need to know that Adam has vulnerabilities, professional vulnerabilities, and if the wrong information reached the wrong people at the wrong time. He trails off, letting me fill in the blanks. I'm not trying to destroy his career, I say. I just want them to face consequences for what they did. Sometimes those are the same thing. Julian sits back down. Look, I'm not saying ruin the guy's life, but I am saying you have more power than you think. You know the systems at Sterling and Wells better than anyone. You have legitimate access, and you're smart enough to use that access without crossing any legal lines. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that if Adam's personal drama became public knowledge within the firm, if partners heard he got his own brother's wife pregnant and it's causing all this family chaos, some of them would use that as ammunition. They'd question his judgment, his stability, his ability to represent the firm. That feels like revenge. It is revenge, but it's also just letting the truth be known. You didn't create this situation. You're just deciding whether to protect him from the consequences. I think about this, about everything I know, everything I have documented. I need to see something first, I tell Julian. Before I make any decisions, I need to know if there's more they're not telling me. What do you mean? This whole thing feels orchestrated, like they planned it, and I want to know if there's an endgame I haven't seen yet. Julian nods slowly. Then find out. Do your research, and when you're ready to make a move, let me know. I might be able to help. I go home late that night. Lena's asleep. I go to my office and I start digging deeper, into their finances, their communications, their plans, and that's when I find it. Hidden in Lena's cloud storage, in a folder labeled Personal, a document titled Future Planning. I open it. It's a timeline, a literal timeline of their strategy. Month 1, continue current arrangement. Daniel stays financially supportive. Month 6, announce pregnancy. Frame as accident but natural evolution. Month 9, baby arrives. Move into larger house. Daniel's house renovated with his money. Month 12, gradually reduce Daniel's involvement. Mutual agreement to co-parent, but with Adam as primary father figure. Month 18, Daniel voluntarily exits, grateful to remain Uncle Daniel and part of the family support system. There's more. Financial projections, notes about my income versus Adam's, estimates of how much they need from me to maintain Lena's lifestyle during the transition. They actually made a business plan for betraying me. I screenshot everything, back it up 3 different ways, and I sit there in the dark, staring at the proof that my wife and brother spent 2 years strategizing how to use me. That's when I stop feeling angry. I start feeling cold, calculated, ready. They want a plan? I'll give them a plan. But mine ends very differently than theirs. I spend the next week being compliant, cooperative. I tell my parents I'm processing everything and I need time. I tell Adam I appreciate him being honest. I tell Lena I want what's best for the baby. They all relax, think they've won. Meanwhile, I'm moving pieces into place. First, I meet with a divorce attorney, not to file yet, just to understand my options. You're in a decent position, the lawyer tells me after reviewing my situation. The house is in your name only, purchased before marriage. Your income is separate. She has no legal claim to most of your assets, especially since she's admitted to adultery. What about spousal support? Depends on the length of the marriage and her financial situation. But given she has a career and has been carrying on a relationship with someone else, any judge would be skeptical of her needing significant support. And the baby? Not your biological child, not your legal responsibility. As long as you're not on the birth certificate and you establish that before birth, you have no obligation. This is good news, better than I expected. What about property she's added to the house? I ask. If you can prove you paid for the renovations and furniture, it's yours. Keep all receipts. I have all the receipts. Next, I meet with a financial advisor, not anyone from Sterling and Wells, but an independent consultant Julian recommended. I need to separate my finances completely, I tell him, without it looking suspicious. What's the timeline? 2 months, maximum. He walks me through it, opening new accounts at a different bank, redirecting my direct deposit, moving my savings incrementally so it doesn't trigger any flags, removing Lena's access to credit cards without her noticing immediately. The key is doing it gradually, he explains. So when the switch happens, it's already done. I start that process the next day. Then comes the harder part. I need to know what exactly they're planning for this family dinner party Mom mentioned, the one at Harbor Club next month. I call my mother. Hey, about that party, what's the actual occasion? Does there need to be an occasion? Can't we just celebrate family? Sure, but there's usually a reason for these things. She's quiet for a moment. If you must know, Adam is being considered for partner. The dinner is partly to celebrate that. He got the promotion? Not officially, but it's very likely. And we want to show the family's support. Of course. This isn't about family at all. It's about boosting Adam's image, making him look stable, connected, worthy of that partnership. And they expect me to show up and play along. That's when the real plan starts forming. I call Julian. That family party I mentioned, it's happening in 3 weeks, at Harbor Club. It's supposed to celebrate Adam's partnership track. Are you going? Yeah, I'm going. I can hear the edge in my own voice. And I'm bringing some visual aids. Visual aids? Every screenshot, every receipt, every piece of evidence that shows exactly what they've been doing, and I'm going to make sure the right people see it. Julian's quiet for a moment. You sure about this? Once you go public, there's no taking it back. I'm sure. Then I'll help. Tell me what you need. Over the next 2 weeks, we build the presentation. Not a dramatic slideshow, nothing obvious, but a series of printed documents, organized chronologically, showing hotel receipts from Lena and Adam's trips together, calendar overlaps proving they coordinated schedules, text message screenshots from Lena's iCloud, legally accessed through our shared family account. The future planning document they created, photos of them together at events where they claimed to be somewhere else. Financial records showing I paid for everything while they built their relationship. Everything admissible. Everything legal. Everything devastating. I make 3 copies, one for me, one for Julian to keep secure, and one that I plan to distribute at the right moment. Meanwhile, at home, I maintain the fiction. Lena's getting more comfortable, more affectionate. She thinks she's won, thinks I'm just another man who will sacrifice himself for family harmony. I really appreciate how you're handling this, she tells me one night. I know it's not easy. Nothing worth doing is easy. You're going to make a great uncle, she continues. This baby is lucky to have you in their life. I smile. I'm sure everything will work out exactly as it should. She hugs me. I'm glad we can still be close, even with everything changing. Yeah, close. The night before the party, Adam calls me. Hey, tomorrow's going to be important for me. Having family there, looking united, it matters for the partnership decision. So I need you to be on your best behavior. My best behavior? You know what I mean. No drama, no scenes, just smile and be supportive. Supportive, right. Danny, I'm serious. This is my career we're talking about. I understand completely. Your career is very important. Okay, good. He sounds relieved. And thanks for being mature about everything. I know it's not easy, but you're doing the right thing. The right thing, I repeat. Yeah. We hang up. I look at the leather folder on my desk containing all the documents. Tomorrow night, Harbor Club. A room full of family, colleagues, partners from Sterling and Wells, everyone there to celebrate Adam's success. That's when they'll learn the truth. All of it. I've spent years being the invisible one. The IT guy. The stable, boring husband nobody paid attention to. Tomorrow night, they're going to pay attention. Harbor Club sits on the waterfront, all glass and marble, the kind of place where they check your name against a list before letting you through the door. I arrive exactly on time, wearing the best suit I own, nothing fancy but pressed and clean. The hostess directs me to the private dining room on the 2nd floor. I can hear conversation and laughter as I approach. Take a breath, adjust my tie, and walk in. The room is exactly what I expected. Elegant table settings, champagne fountain, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the harbor. About 30 people scattered around in clusters. My parents' friends, distant relatives I barely know, and several people from Sterling and Wells that I recognize from the building. Mom spots me first. Daniel, finally. She kisses my cheek and immediately adjusts my collar. You couldn't have worn something more elegant? This was the most elegant thing I own. Well, you're here. That's what matters. She steers me toward the bar. Get a drink, socialize, and please try to look happy. I get a drink. Stand near the windows. Watch. Adam's holding court near the fireplace, shaking hands and laughing at jokes. He's wearing a suit that probably cost more than my monthly mortgage payment. Lena's beside him in a designer dress, her stomach just barely showing, playing the glowing mother-to-be role perfectly. They look good together. I can admit that. They look like they belong in this room in a way I never will. Daniel Blake, a voice behind me. I turn to find Martin Sterling, one of the senior partners at Sterling and Wells. Didn't expect to see you here? Family event, I say. Right, your brother's big night. He sips his whiskey. Adam's been doing excellent work. The partners are very impressed. That's good to hear. You're in IT, correct? cybersecurity and systems management. Important work. Invisible when it's done right, disaster when it's not. He studies me. You and your brother don't look much alike. Different mothers. I lie automatically. It's easier than explaining. Ah, that explains it. He moves on to talk to someone else. I stay by the windows, watching the room. Julian arrives 20 minutes later. He gives me a subtle nod and positions himself near the bar where he can see everything. Eventually, my father calls everyone to attention, asks us to take our seats. I'm placed near the middle of the long table, between a cousin I haven't seen in a decade and one of my mother's friends, who immediately starts asking me invasive questions about my marriage. I hear you and Lena are taking a break, she says in a stage whisper. That must be so difficult. We're figuring things out. Well, these things happen. The important thing is staying civilized. She pats my hand. You seem like you're handling it well. I have my moments. Dinner is served in courses: salad, soup, some elaborate fish dish I don't taste. I watch Adam across the table laughing and charming everyone. Watch Lena touching her stomach and accepting congratulations from people who don't know the full story. After the main course, my father stands up with his wine glass. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. It means a great deal to our family to have you all here. He gestures to Adam. We're celebrating some exciting news. My son Adam has been selected for consideration as a partner at Sterling & Wells, one of the youngest candidates in the firm's history. Applause. Adam stands and gives a humble wave. This achievement represents not just professional success, Dad continues, but the values we've tried to instill in our sons: excellence, integrity, commitment to family, and community. I feel my jaw tighten. Integrity. So please raise your glasses to Adam and to the Blake family legacy. Everyone toasts. I lift my glass but don't drink. Adam stands to give his own speech. Thank you all for being here. This means more than I can express. Family has always been the foundation of everything I do. My parents taught me that success means nothing if you don't have people to share it with. People who support you. People who believe in you. His eyes find mine across the table. Which is why I'm especially grateful my brother Daniel is here tonight. Danny and I have had our differences over the years. We're very different people, but he's always been there when it mattered, and I want to publicly acknowledge that. People are looking at me now, smiling, expecting me to smile back. In fact, Adam continues, I'd like to invite Danny up to say a few words, brother to brother. Oh, this is a test. See if I'll cooperate. See if I'll play my part in his perfect narrative. Come on, Danny, Dad urges. Say something. I look at Julian. He gives a barely perceptible nod. I stand up, walk to the front of the room where Adam's standing. He hands me his microphone with a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Thanks, I say. I actually wasn't planning to speak tonight. Just say whatever's in your heart, Adam says quietly. For my ears only, he adds, don't mess this up. I look out at the room, 30 faces watching me, my parents at the head of the table, Lena beside my empty chair, Sterling and 2 other partners near the back. My brother asked me to speak from the heart, I start. So I will. Adam and I are different people, that's true. He's always been the successful one, the charming one, the one who knows how to work a room and make people feel important. Nods of agreement. But what Adam's really exceptional at, and I mean this sincerely, is seeing opportunities where other people see boundaries. Adam's smile falters slightly. For example, when most people see a marriage, they see a commitment, a boundary. Adam sees an opportunity. The room goes quiet. When most people see family, they see loyalty, obligation. Adam sees negotiable terms. Danny, my mother warns. Just 18 months ago, my brother told me I was too passive, too comfortable. He said I needed to take more risks, step outside my comfort zone. I turned to look at him. Turns out he was taking his own advice, with my wife. Gasps ripple through the room. "Daniel, sit down," Dad orders. "In a minute." See, I thought tonight was about celebrating Adam's achievements, his partnership track, his integrity. I pull out the folder I've been keeping under my chair. But I realized I should share some context about the kind of achievement we're really celebrating. I open the folder and start distributing documents to the people closest to me. Hotel receipts, calendar overlaps, the planning document. "What is this?" Sterling picks up one of the sheets. "That's a hotel confirmation, the Riverside Inn, June 2023. That's my wife's name on the booking, and my brother's name on the room service charges." "Stop this right now." Mom is on her feet. "This one's from Charleston, March 2024. Another hotel, another set of charges. There are about 15 more just like it." Adam grabs my arm. "You're making a scene." "Am I? You wanted me to speak from the heart. This is what's in my heart." I pull out the planning document, hold it up so everyone can see the header. Future Planning, Lena and Adam. This is my personal favorite. It's a timeline they created. Month-by-month breakdown of how to transition from me being the husband to me being the convenient uncle who still pays for everything. It's very thorough, almost professional. Lena's crying, or pretending to cry. Hard to tell. "Daniel, what you're doing is cruel," she says. "I'm pregnant. How can you humiliate me like this?" "Humiliate you? I'm just sharing the plan, your plan, the one you made without me." Sterling is reading through the documents, his face growing darker. "Blake, is this accurate?" "It's taken out of context," Adam starts. "Context," I interrupt. "The context is that my brother has been sleeping with my wife for 2 years, that she's now pregnant with his child, and that both of them expected me to finance their life while they built their relationship. That's the context." "This is a private family matter," Dad shouts. "Then maybe you shouldn't have hosted it at a professional event." I look directly at Sterling. "You mentioned integrity earlier. Just wanted to make sure you had all the information before making that partnership decision." Sterling stands up. "I think we're done here." "Wait," Adam steps forward. "This isn't what it looks like. It looks like you've been having an affair with your brother's wife and thought you could hide it." Sterling's voice is ice cold. "And more concerning, you involved her in business settings, client dinners, firm events, while lying to everyone about the nature of your relationship." "I can explain." "You can explain it to the ethics committee." Sterling heads for the door, followed by the other partners. The room erupts, people talking over each other. My mother sobbing, Dad yelling at me about ruining everything. Lena shrieking that I'm vindictive and cruel. And Adam. Adam is just standing there watching his perfect night disintegrate. "You did this on purpose," he finally says. "You set me up." "I just told the truth. You're the one who gave me something to tell." He lunges at me, grabs my collar, slams me back against the wall. "You destroyed my career. You destroyed my marriage first." Someone pulls him off, Julian and another guy from the firm. Adam's shouting, struggling, and the refined dinner party has become complete chaos. "Everyone needs to leave," the club manager announces. "Now." People file out quickly, avoiding eye contact. My parents are the last to go, my mother crying, my father looking at me like I'm a stranger. "I hope you're satisfied," Dad says. "Not yet, but I'm getting there." They leave. Eventually, it's just me, Julian, Lena, and Adam in the destroyed dining room. "We could have handled this privately," Lena says, mascara running down her face. "Why did you have to make it public?" "Because private was never an option. You two made sure of that when you involved my family, his firm, and apparently half the social circle. The baby isn't my problem, it's yours." I look at Adam. "By the way, I filed for divorce this morning. Papers are being served tomorrow. The house is mine. The furniture is mine. And you have 30 days to move out." "You can't do that," Lena protests. "Already did. My lawyer confirmed it. House was purchased before marriage, in my name only. Everything in it was bought with my money. You have no legal claim. I'll fight this. Go ahead. I have documentation of every purchase, every payment, every expense, and more importantly, I have documentation of your affair, which in this state means you get nothing. Adam's just staring at me. You planned this, all of it. I planned survival. You planned betrayal. Mine just worked better. He moves toward me again, but Julian steps between us. Walk away, Adam. You've done enough damage. Adam looks like he wants to say something else, but instead, he grabs Lena's arm and they leave together. Julian claps my shoulder. That was brutal. It needed to be. What now? Now I go home, to my house, and I start my actual life. Think they'll come after you? They'll try. But I've got documentation, legal standing, and most importantly, the truth. They've got excuses and embarrassment. We walk out together. The harbor is quiet, water reflecting the city lights. I take a breath of cold air and feel something I haven't felt in years. Relief. The divorce papers are served the next morning. I don't deliver them myself. A process server shows up at the house while I'm at work. I get a text from Lena. Really? A process server? I don't respond. By noon, word has spread through Sterling and Wells. I get a call to HR. We need to discuss last night, the director says. She's a woman named Patricia who's been with the firm for 20 years. What you did was controversial. I told the truth. You humiliated a senior wealth manager in front of partners and clients. He humiliated himself by sleeping with my wife. She sighs. The firm has strict policies about keeping personal matters separate from professional ones. What happened between you, your wife, and your brother is unfortunate. But bringing it into a business setting... That wasn't a business setting. It was a family dinner. It was a family dinner attended by 3 partners, 4 clients, and 6 employees. That makes it a business setting. She leans forward. We're not terminating you. Your work performance has been exemplary. But you need to understand that what you did created a very uncomfortable situation for everyone involved. Including Adam? Especially Adam. The ethics committee is reviewing his status. The partnership decision is on hold. And there are conversations happening about whether his judgment is sound enough to represent the firm going forward. Is that a question or a statement? It's reality. She stands. Keep your head down. Do your job. And stay away from Adam. Can you do that? Yes. I leave her office and run into Julian in the hallway. He pulls me into an empty conference room. The partners are furious, he says. Not at you, at Adam. Apparently, this isn't the first time he's blurred professional and personal lines. There was a client 2 years ago who complained he was being too friendly with her. They hushed it up, but it's back in the conversation now. Good. They're also concerned about the pregnancy, about whether Lena was being presented as your wife at firm functions when she was actually Adam's partner. That's misrepresentation at best, ethics violation at worst. What happens to him? At minimum, he's off the partnership track. They might keep him on as a wealth manager, but the golden boy status is gone. At maximum. Julian pauses. They might ask him to resign. And what do I do? Nothing. Let the process play out. He grins. You already won, Danny. Everything else is just cleanup. That night I come home to my empty house. Lena's already moved most of her stuff out. Fast work, but I expected it. The bedroom closet is half empty. The bathroom counter has gaps where her products used to be. I walk through each room, taking inventory. They tried to take some furniture, but I have receipts proving I bought it. I make notes of what's missing, what needs to be replaced. Then I go to my office and I sit in the dark for a while. It's over. Really over. The marriage, the lies, the performance. My phone rings. Mom. I almost don't answer. But I do. Yes? I can't believe you did that. Her voice is shaking. Do you have any idea what you've cost this family? I cost the family? That's what you're going with? You publicly humiliated your brother. He might lose everything because of your vindictive. He publicly humiliated me first. He just didn't expect me to notice. This isn't who you are, Daniel. You're the calm one, the reasonable one. Maybe I'm tired of being the reasonable one while everyone else does whatever they want. Your brother could lose his career. He should lose his career. He was representing a firm built on trust while lying to everyone about his personal life, including me. But he's your brother. He stopped being my brother when he decided my wife was more important than our relationship. She's crying now. Where does this leave us, the family? I don't know, Mom. Where does it leave us? Because from where I'm standing, you all chose Adam and Lena. You expected me to just accept it, fund it, support it. So where does that leave us? You're being unfair. I'm being honest. Maybe for the first time in years. I hang up. Block her number. Block Dad's number. Block Adam's number. I don't block Lena's. I need to communicate about the divorce. But I set her messages to silent. Over the next 2 weeks, things fall into a rhythm. I go to work, come home, go to the gym Julian introduced me to, start boxing seriously. Not because I plan to fight anyone, but because hitting something helps. The divorce proceeds quickly. Lena tries to claim she needs spousal support to maintain her lifestyle. But her lawyer can't make it stick. She has a job, she has no children yet, and we have documented proof she was unfaithful. She tries to claim emotional distress, says I abused her by exposing her private information. Her lawyer threatens to sue for defamation. My lawyer laughs. Truth is an absolute defense against defamation. Everything your client presented was factual. If his wife's embarrassed by the truth, that's not his problem. Eventually, they settle. Lena gets nothing except her personal possessions and her car, which she's still making payments on. The house stays mine. The furniture stays mine. I pay no support. The marriage is officially dissolved in 6 weeks. Fastest divorce my lawyer's ever seen. Usually people fight harder, she tells me at the final signing. You'd be surprised how many people can't let go. I let go the moment I found out, I say. Everything since then was just paperwork. Adam's situation at Sterling and Wells resolves differently. They don't fire him, but they do transfer him to a different department. Lower profile, fewer client interactions, and they make it clear the partnership track is closed to him permanently. He sends me an email. Subject line: We need to talk. I delete it without reading. He tries calling. I don't answer. Finally, he shows up at my house on a Saturday morning. I see his BMW through the window and consider not answering the door, but I'm curious what he could possibly have to say. I open the door, but don't invite him in. What? He looks terrible, tired, older than he did a month ago. I wanted to explain. Explain what? Everything. Why it happened. How it got so out of hand. I don't care why it happened. Danny, I never meant to hurt you. I need you to know that. You spent 2 years sleeping with my wife and planning how to remove me from my own life. Which part of that wasn't meant to hurt me? We fell in love. That part was real. And the part where you decided to keep me around as a bank account? Was that real too? He flinches. That document, Lena wrote that. I didn't know about it until when? Until I showed it to everyone? Or just until it became inconvenient to pretend you didn't know? She was protecting herself, protecting the baby. You have to understand, I don't have to understand anything. I already understand everything I need to. Can we please just talk? 5 minutes. Let me try to explain. No. I start to close the door. He pushes back. Danny, wait. I'm sorry, I'm truly sorry. I know you don't believe me, but I am. And I'm asking, I'm begging, can we find a way to be brothers again, someday? I look at him, really look at him, and I feel nothing. Not anger, not sadness, just nothing. You're not my brother anymore, I say. You're just a guy I used to know who made bad choices. That's it. Danny, leave, and don't come back. I close the door, lock it, and I go back to my life. 3 months later, I'm cleaning out the garage when I find a box I don't recognize. Old documents, photos, letters. It must have been my dad's stuff that got mixed in when they helped me move into this house years ago. I'm about to throw it out when I see an envelope addressed to me. The handwriting is familiar, but I can't place it. I open it. It's dated 6 years ago. From my stepfather, the man who raised me, who died 2 years before I bought this house. Daniel, it starts. If you're reading this, I'm gone, and there are things you need to know. I sit down on the garage floor and keep reading. You are not my biological son. Your mother and I met when you were 2 years old. She was leaving a difficult situation, starting over. I fell in love with both of you immediately. When we married, I adopted you legally. You became mine in every way that mattered. Adam is my biological son from my first marriage. He doesn't remember much about those years. He was very young when his mother and I separated. But I remember. And I'll tell you something I've never told anyone else. Adam was a difficult child. Charming, yes. Smart, yes. But also selfish. Manipulative. He learned early how to get what he wanted, and he never learned to care about who he hurt along the way. When you came into my life, I saw something different. You were careful, thoughtful. You considered other people's feelings. You worked hard without needing recognition. As you both grew up, I tried to treat you equally. But I also knew something your mother couldn't accept. That Adam needed boundaries, and you needed support. She favored him because he was hers biologically. She pushed him forward and expected you to fade into the background. I'm writing this because I need you to know you were never the lesser son. You were never second best. You were the son I was most proud of, even if I didn't say it enough. I've left instructions with my attorney about certain assets. The house your mother and I owned together. I want it to eventually go to you, not Adam. There are some investments, some accounts. They're yours. Not because I love you more, but because I trust you more. Adam will have what his mother left him. He'll have his career and his charm. He doesn't need my money. But you deserve to know that someone believed in you, that someone saw your worth. Don't let them convince you you're less than you are. Don't let Adam's charisma or your mother's favoritism define your value. You are my son, my real son, the one I chose, and I'm proud of you. Dad. I sit there for a long time, reading it over and over. Then I call the attorney whose name is at the bottom of the letter. Daniel Blake, she says when I identify myself. I was wondering when you'd find that letter. Is it real? The things he wrote about assets. Very real. Your stepfather set up a trust. Your mother was supposed to tell you about it when you turned 30, but she never did. I've been trying to reach you for months, but your old email address bounced. What's in the trust? The house your parents lived in, now that your mother's moved to a condo, about $200,000 in investments, and a small rental property, 3 units that generate steady income. I'm speechless. Your stepfather wanted you to have security, she continues. He said you were the one who would use it wisely. Your mother contested the trust initially, but it was airtight. She eventually stopped fighting. When can I access this? You already can. You just needed to know about it. I can have the paperwork ready by tomorrow if you want to come to my office. I go the next day, sign everything, and suddenly I'm not just surviving, I have actual wealth. Not enough to retire, but enough to never worry about money again. Enough to know that someone believed in me when it mattered most. I think about telling my family, but I don't. Let them think I'm still the struggling IT guy who lost everything in the divorce. Let them keep underestimating me. Instead, I use the rental income to pay off my mortgage early. I invest the rest conservatively, and I keep living my life exactly as I have been, working, boxing, building something new. 6 months after the divorce, I run into Lena at a coffee shop downtown. She's showing now, belly round under an expensive maternity dress. She sees me, freezes, then walks over. Daniel, hi. Lena, how are you? Fine. You? Good. Tired but good. She touches her stomach. Baby's active. Keeps me up at night. That's nice. Awkward silence. Look, she says finally, I want to apologize for everything. The way it ended was the only honest thing about our relationship in years. She flinches. That's not fair. Isn't it? You spent 2 years lying to me, planning my exit from my own life, and you expected me to just fund it. I know, and I'm sorry. I genuinely am. She looks down. Adam and I aren't together anymore. What? We broke up 2 months ago. Turns out planning a fake future is easier than building a real one. She laughs bitterly. He wanted me when I was yours, when I was available and pregnant with his baby. Suddenly I wasn't exciting enough. I should feel vindicated, but I just feel tired. I'm sorry that happened, I say, and I mean it. Are you? After everything? Yeah, I don't wish you unhappiness, Lena. I just wish you hadn't made me part of your story. For what it's worth, I really did love you. At the beginning, before everything got complicated. Maybe, but love without respect isn't worth much. She nods slowly. You're right, and I didn't respect you. I thought you were weak because you were kind. I thought stability was boring. I was wrong about a lot of things. Well, now you know. Now I know. She picks up her coffee. Take care of yourself, Daniel. You too. She leaves. I watch her go and feel nothing. No anger, no sadness, just a distant acknowledgement that she's someone I used to know. I finish my coffee and head to the gym. Julian's already there, hitting the heavy bag. Saw your ex at the coffee place, he says when I walk in. She looks miserable. She and Adam broke up. I heard. Apparently he's dating someone new already, some lawyer from the firm. Of course he is. We spar for a while. I'm getting better, faster, more confident. Coach Rita says I might actually be decent if I keep training. Afterward, we're cooling down when Julian says, so what's next for you? Next? Yeah, divorce is done. You've got your house back. You're clearly doing okay. What's the next chapter? I think about it. The stepfather's letter, the trust, the rental properties, the quiet life I've been building. I don't know yet, I admit, but I think I'm okay with that. Fair enough. He grins. Just let me know when you figure it out. I'll help. You've already helped more than you know. That's what friends do. Friends. I like that word. It's been a while since I had actual friends, people who showed up without expecting anything in return. That night, I'm home alone, which doesn't feel lonely anymore, just peaceful, when I get an email from my mother. Daniel, your father and I would like to talk. We've had time to reflect on what happened. Please call us when you're ready. I stare at it for a long time. Then I reply, I'm not ready yet. Maybe someday. But not now. Hit send. I pour a drink, good whiskey, the kind I never bought when I was busy funding Lena's life, and I sit on my back deck watching the sunset. My phone buzzes. Another email, this time from Adam. Subject, brother to brother. I delete it without opening. Some conversations aren't worth having. Some bridges aren't worth rebuilding. I learned that the hard way, but I learned. I'm not writing an epilogue about months later or new beginnings. That's not how life works. Here's what I know right now, in this moment. I have a house that's paid off. I have a job I'm good at. I have money in the bank and a stepfather's letter that reminds me someone believed in me when I needed it most. I have a friend in Julian who showed up when it mattered. I have boxing classes where I'm learning to stop hesitating and just move. I don't have my wife. I don't have my brother. I don't have the family I thought I had. But I have something better. I have myself. Not the version I was pretending to be, stable, accommodating, invisible. The version I actually am, smart, capable, done with other people's games. Adam will probably be fine. He'll charm his way into a new job, a new relationship, a new narrative where he's the victim of circumstances beyond his control. Lena will figure it out. She'll raise the baby, probably meet someone else, probably tell them a carefully edited version of what happened. My parents will eventually reach out again. They'll want family harmony, holiday dinners, some version of normal. Maybe I'll participate. Maybe I won't. The thing is, I get to choose now. I get to decide who's in my life and who isn't. Who earns my trust and who doesn't get the chance. That's the real revenge, I think. Not the public humiliation, not the divorce or the evidence or the destroyed partnership. The real revenge is that I'm free. And they're stuck with the consequences of their choices. They wanted me to be the supporting character in their story, the reliable guy in the background who funded their adventure and asked no questions. Instead, I wrote my own ending, one where I walk away with my dignity, my assets, and my future intact. They can keep their drama, their complicated relationships, their exhausting need for external validation. I'll keep my quiet house, my gym sessions, my coffee shop mornings, and my newly appreciated solitude. That's not a new beginning. That's just life. My actual life. Finally. And honestly, it's pretty good.